Hello, my name is Don. I'm with frogwallets.com. And in this video, what I am going to do is I'm going to discuss personal sovereignty and how that relates to the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Additionally, what I'd like to do is discuss the role in which Frog Wallets can play to help you in this process and why I feel that's important. To get started, what I'd like to do is explain what I believe personal sovereignty means to me. So when I hear the term personal sovereignty, I relate that to taking care of oneself. Self-empowerment, self-sufficiency, personal growth, standing in one's own beliefs. These are all terms that come to mind when I hear the term personal sovereignty. Essentially, it is becoming a king or queen of one's own self. That isn't to say that you have to do everything yourself. No, not at all. But if the conditions warrant it, you should be able to. You should be able to take control. So what those conditions are, that's going to vary in everybody's own personal life, but you can easily identify those conditions are met when the system or the people that you put in charge of taking care of that aspect are failing or have failed already. So let us, with an open mind, examine our current financial system as a whole. Now, I live in the United States of America, so I'm going to talk about American dollars because that's what I use myself. The process is basically this. A person works for X amount of hours and they get paid in American dollars. Those dollars are taxed when they're earned, and they're taxed when they're spent and respent and respent and respent. Those dollars are required to pay for everything, basic necessities such as food, clothing, shelter, and even simple comforts like heating and cooling, which, depending on where you live, heating and cooling can actually be a necessity. Anything that you have left over can then be spent on pleasure, charity, investments, or anything like that. While I can't say with absolute certainty how this works in every other country, I'm gonna guess that with some small caveats, your system works the same as mine. So the financial system that we're currently in was not built by you or me or even your grandpa. It was built by people who have been in power for a very, very long time, millennia. The rules in which they are subjected to are very different than the rules in which we are subjected to. Now, that's kind of a big statement, but you can occasionally see the truth of that statement, glimmers of the reality of like a powerful person, whether that's politically or financially speaking. When they get some dirt dug up on them, what you can see is the wheels of the system move in lockstep to bury that story or the people that are telling it. So often what happens is what you feel like should be the top story on every newspaper, whatever that is, across the globe, or in the very least in your own state, your province, or your country, that story is gone. It's gone in just a day or two. And what typically happens is counter narratives or that are semi-plausible kind of arguments why that dirt exists. They tend to crop up pretty quickly. And then what also happens is if that doesn't work, an outright denial or an attack on the original source, like, this guy only said that because blah, blah, blah. It happens time and time again. So with that understanding, let's move into what crypto is and why it's an important opportunity for both sides of this little struggle or this game. So for us, the little guy, what crypto represents is a system in which trading and debts can be settled with no middlemen. So we have a publicly traceable blockchain, which I don't want to say most, but many of them are. And you can always use that if you need to prove that you've paid your agreed upon amount. Much like in the old days, when you write a check, you would get your check back that shows that, hey, I paid this guy this amount of money. But with the blockchain, the difference is here is the person can't claim the check was stolen and cashed by somebody else or even never cashed at all. Now, the system of cryptos, we can make transactions without taxes, without bank transaction fees, without credit card merchant fees. So, for example, if you wanted to buy an old dresser that I have, you could send me X amount of Y crypto and I'll give you the address. And if you do that, the transaction is done and the dresser is yours. There's no one else involved. So but the thing with the blockchain, if there is ever a dispute, either party, you or I, could look at the original agreement and then look at the original transaction on the blockchain and say, yes, it did or didn't happen. So on the other side of the coin, what the crypto market represents to the powers that be or the powers that were is a system in which they can control every single aspect of one's life, or they can micromanage every transaction. So the way it could work is a cryptocurrency in which they control. They would associate it with a user. Let's say when you're born, instead of just getting a social security number, you get a digital address, and that is yours for the rest of your life. Now, every single transaction that is done on your account, whether you buy, sell, or even earn something, they know and they will take their cut, or else. So what else could they do? Well, I mean, what they could do is they could simply just say, hey, okay, every transaction that happens on this chain, we take X amount, and they build it right into the system. Alternatively, what they could do is they could actually freeze your address. Like you screwed up, you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. You're not allowed to use this system for a week or a month. They could really do is they could just simply delete that address out of the system. Now you're a person non grata. What that means is anybody trying to help you would subsequently themselves be at risk of the same or similar types of actions. You couldn't buy anything, you couldn't sell anything, and you couldn't even live off the charity of other people because of the potential for sweeping repercussions for them trying to help. Okay, so where are we at? At this very moment, I liken it to a crossroad. So anybody who thinks that cryptocurrencies are a fad and it's going to pass, they should pay very close attention to what's going on right now. Look at the news and see what is going on. There is absolutely zero indications that thought of cryptocurrency being a fad is even remotely true. Now, the reason I say that is because the little guys like us, we already have a system in place and we want it. It's good. The people in control are looking at it like, oh my, this is lovely. So moving forward, they're going to have a digital currency. To us crypto folks, we've already got that. But the system that wants to stay in power, it's going to be their new digital crypto whatever the hell. Let's tie this together. The system is currently in the process of, as of this date, we're in July, mid-July, creating a lot of FUD, F-U-D. What FUD is an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that they're creating it about the current cryptocurrency system. Why are they creating this FUD? Well, they don't do anything for just one reason. Very rarely do they. But it could be for many reasons. Because really, in reality, if they wanted to get rid of crypto, all they would have to do is pass laws that makes it illegal in every country and even or globally. But they're not doing that, except for China, which is a whole different story. Because they actually do want the current system to actually exist still. It helps people become accustomed to using digital currency because that is where they're going. Ultimately, they don't want us to use the existing cryptos, your Bitcoin, your Theta. They don't want us to use that, but that is something that they can tackle down the road. But for now, it's serving a very important part it's getting people accustomed to using something that's not a piece of paper. So for now, they want you to use it. They want you to get comfortable with how it works. And they want you to start trusting the exchanges and these financial institutions that help facilitate the transactions. You've got PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, all moving into the cryptocurrency marketplace. So the good thing is the crypto ecosystem is actually growing. That's a good thing for both sides, right? But there is even a smaller subsection of the crypto community that understands the risk of having your cryptocurrency on these quasi or semi-official exchanges or trading platforms. Because when the time comes to usher in their new digital crypto, whatever the hell they're going to call it, what do you think is going to happen to the existing crypto or crypto exchanges or trading platforms? They could, in theory, be marked for death by the system. And actually, we can see that that is happening right now, or a little bit of that is going on, or maybe they're just testing the waters with what's going on with Binance. So many banks across the globe are denying people transfers. They're trying to transfer their fiat money into Binance, and the banks are saying, no, you can't do that. We're trying to protect you. Because in the end, there is no institution or single person that is bulletproof. They are all dispensable. We are all dispensable if there is a demand that is great enough for dispensing them or us. And I would argue that creating a new financial system, a digital whatever the hell, that they can completely control is a pretty big reason or pretty big prize to thwart even some of the biggest players like Binance in the crypto industry. So what I'm really getting at here is when the time comes, having your crypto on these exchanges that are marked for death means that your crypto is going to be gone right along with that exchange. Now, I can play out a scenario in my head where what they do is they simply auto-convert your previous crypto, whatever that is, to the new digital crypto, whatever the hell. But in the worst case scenario, I can also see that it is simply gone, confiscated. Trumped up charges could be brought up against this or that, and not necessarily against you, but rather the exchange in which you have it. They could simply say, hey, this exchange or this trading site didn't have but 10% of the crypto they said they did, and thus your 10 bitcoins that you had on there is really only worth 1 bitcoin, so here's your new digital crypto whatever the hell. And that's going to be equal to the amount of 1 bitcoin, whatever that is at the time. And so what they could do to make people kind of okay with this process is they could drag out that litigation against these exchanges for years. And so when you finally get your 1 bitcoin back, you're happy with it. Now, the other option is what I'm here to talk about is to have your cryptocurrency in your own possession. Now, how you do that is by having the cryptocurrency off the exchanges. The 3 most common ways to do that is using hardware, mobile, or paper wallets. So a hardware wallet is like the Trezor or the Ledger device. Mobile wallets are typically just an app like the Exodus or the Trust or Wallet of Satoshi. Paper wallets are simply a piece of paper that's a documentation of the key and private key, those are pairs, needed to interact with a particular blockchain. So people might ask, well, which one should you use? Should I use a hardware? Should I use a paper? Should I use a mobile? Well, it really depends on the person. I mean, because you're going to be comfortable with something that someone else may not be. For example, I know people who grew up with cell phones in their hands. Mobile wallets are perfect for them. People in my generation, slightly older, they tend towards the physical hardware like the Trust or the Ledger. Now, there are also people who have safes or lock boxes or security deposit boxes, and they put money, cash money, or other sensitive documentation so they don't mind creating the paper wallets and storing them that way. As I said, everybody is just a little bit different, and what works for one may not be the best for the other. All right, so what role does Frog Wallets play in all of this? Well, a Frog Wallet is simply a piece of paper, but not necessarily a paper wallet, that holds your private information in case it's needed. The Frog Wallet can be a paper wallet. It was designed to be a paper wallet, but it was also designed to be a backup of your mobile wallet or your hardware wallet. And each one of those apps or devices, whenever you first initialize them, they will ask you to create this backup somewhere else just in case. So what can happen is your hardware, your ledger, your Trezor device can break, your phone can get lost or stolen or even broken. And in such case, if that's the only place you have that information, guess what? Your crypto is gone. So you need to have a backup of that information somewhere else, and that's what the Frog Wallet can do. So essentially what it is, a Frog Wallet is a backup of your private information designed in such a way to take into account personal physical security, environmental security like water or fire, and it's designed to be stored in a secure location in which you control. All right, so this probably should be said, and this is a little bit about me, but I never do anything really just for one reason. For instance, I don't buy crypto because I think it's the only way to survive the coming digital crypto, whatever the hell. And I didn't create frogwallets.com just to make money. If that was the only reason, I wouldn't have done it. I created the website, and it provides me an avenue to help educate people because I really feel like there's a need for that education. That is why this video talks about what is really going on in the financial world first, and then what role the Frog Wallet can play second or last. And it's fair to point out that even if you do not see any value in the Frog Wallet, which, yes, I'm biased, but if you don't see any value in a Frog Wallet, you should see value in having your personal information in your own control. The Frog Wallet is just an example of a way that's available for you to do that right now. So everything on frogwallets.com is in stock and it's ready to go. Everything was purchased, printed, and is in stock. So I encourage you to take a look at my other videos on how Frog Wallets work, how you can print a Frog Wallet offline, because just as important it is to have your crypto in your own possession, it is very important on how it gets there. People will try to scam, hack, steal from you. What we've done is we've created a offline printer template that lets you control your own information. All you need is a printer, a Frog Wallet of your design choice. There's a couple designs available to you, and a web browser. And all you have to do is put your information offline and print it, and no one will ever see it but you. Then you safely store it away in the envelope and the holographic seal, and then you put it, wherever you're comfortable with, and it's always there when you need it. Well, I would like to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that I've given you some information which at the very least will help you. If you feel so inclined, please like and share this video. The Frog Wallet concept, we're a new channel, it's a new product, and it's a new idea. So any help getting the word out would be very much appreciated. If you have questions, comments, or you would like to say anything about this video or the products that we offer at frogwallets.com, you can email us at frog_service@frogwallets.com. I'll be the guy answering those questions. I'll be happy to discuss any of your comments or suggestions. Also remember, if you do send us an email, please pay attention to your spam or your promotion folder in Google. We've had reports of those, our emails being filtered. So thanks again for watching this video, and be well.